Kasper Schmeichel has done really well since I've arrived at the football club in the 2 spells.
Is this tie still salvageable from your point of view next week?
It's a tough ask. You're travelling over to a side who are 4th in the Bundesliga, who are very, very capable of winning this competition, and so they're a good side. And at some stage or another, Celtic will become a top quality European team. That's in the future. It'll be one of those things at some stage or another. But at this minute, our battles are elsewhere.
So you can't let this derail you from other competitions and things that you're fighting for this season?
Of course not. No, absolutely not. Our focus now is totally on Sunday.
And how do you envisage that you become that top team that you were just talking about in Europe?
Well, I'll tell you exactly. Right. Okay. First of all, it is very difficult for Scottish teams. There's no money in that sense. You're talking about Premier League teams, Bundesliga teams buying players for 40, 50 million and them not even playing, not even getting into the side. Players in the Premier League in the last couple of seasons have cost 75, 80 million pounds and are transferred for 40 million about 3 months later. So it's ridiculous. So we have to try and compete with that at some stage or another. We have to compete with that. That's the difficulty of it. You're trying to get players in at low cost, really, because there's no money. Eventually, if the SPL belonged to the Premier League, I don't think we'd have a problem.
And I did just want to ask one more thing about the protest that happened.
My cynicism.
No, of course. About the protest at the beginning there. The game was stopped after 15 seconds for sort of 3 minutes. Does that help on a night like tonight when you're trying to create the atmosphere? And, do you understand?
Anybody who thinks that's a good idea needs their heads examining. There's no question about it. Needs their heads examining. First of all, it sends out the totally wrong message. We're playing against Stuttgart. The game is hard enough, and they're coming here. And the problem is that way back some years ago, this was an incredibly intimidating place to come to. Incredibly difficult. I've managed here where sides like Juventus were scared stiff of coming here, where top class sides were scared stiff. That sort of thing does not help at all. There's been battles going on the stand, all sorts of things really, but that doesn't help, because what it does do, Stuttgart here, who might be, to come to this wonderful football club and then find out that there's a lot of infighting going on and things being thrown onto the pitch at the end of it all, doesn't make any great sense to me. It's just, if that's the case, because what it does, if I'm a Stuttgart player, I'm thinking, whoa, wait a minute, I'm pretty happy in this environment then, if that's the case.
Martin, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
No problem.